Okay, we're going to look into the book of Enoch for a little support on what I've been telling you here. All right? But just to get you to understand, of course, circumscribed tetrahedral geometry. Basically, to circumscribe a tetrahedral inside of a sphere, in other words, a planet, you would align it upon the planet's polarity. So once you find the polarity of the planet, in this case, ours is tilted at about 23.8 degrees. So that would establish the equator, and then at that point, you can find the 19.5 marks. And then, of course, then you're going to begin to find that once you establish the polarity of the planet, circumscribe the tetrahedron in there, that we're going to have at these locations 19.5. On Earth and all known planets, we see geothermic energy anomalies, meaning a geometric equation is in place governing these laws of physics. That's important because it's literally on every planet. Every planet. So it's not something that has anything to do with this seal of Saturn in particular. I'm trying to tell you that this is the sixth seal, which is the dominion that you were given over Earth. And we're going to find out why this is important, because it's going to relate back to the very same power that you have over these locusts and these serpents, as Jesus Christ said that you did. Now, this seal, as it relates to dominion, relates absolutely back to your faith in God, your faith in the Father of all that is through Jesus Christ. And that's where in the Bible it says, all those that are sealed with the living God, that's who the locust can't hurt. Well, that's going to be your faith, and that's what this equation right here is holding up. Now, why is it important to have this equation? Well, because we've got a rebellious spiritual hierarchy that are bound on this world. There has to be something that binds their energy on this world. And you're looking at it. It's this seal right here. And we're going to talk about it a little further. But just to get you to understand that, if you were to look at the North Pole when we had clouds overhead, because we're talking about energy itself, which you really can't see. Just like you can't see the wind until it actually blows through the trees or blows through some sort of medium that's going to show you the wave, the movement of the unseen wind. Well, same too with this energy. You're not going to see this energy until it actually interacts with something visually that you can see. In this case, at the North Pole, it would be clouds. So maybe Google hexagon at North Pole of Earth, and what you're going to see is that when there's clouds overhead at the North Pole, every once in a while the satellites catch a hexagonal, basically this shape right here, over the North Pole. The clouds itself really do not pass over this because of this magnetic energy, which is actually causing the clouds to now form the shape itself that's there in the energy equation. Well, it just so happens that the geometry is equating at the poles the exact same geometry that it's equating in this direction here. So of course it's a fractal, and it's equation that's governing energy exchange from material to spiritual on our planet. It's in place for a purpose, because our planet is absolutely interconnected simultaneously to a spiritual world and a material world. Well, there would be the equation that governs it. So if we were to look, some planets don't have atmospheres. It's one of the reasons why we're unable to see this shape at their polar region. But if they had an atmosphere with clouds and other things that we could gauge the shape from, we would see it. But where we don't have an atmosphere, we actually have geography. And the geography on the other planets, still at 19.5, would tell us this equation's there. Now we're going to find out why the equation is important as we look at the book of Enoch, and then we're going to compare this to something that's quoted about Satan in the Hebrew Bible, and it will begin to make sense. I'll be back.